Every morning is a new doorway to the unseen riches of life. As the first light spills across the earth, it carries with it the quiet assurance that all good is flowing toward you in this very moment. The mind, when tuned to expectancy, becomes a magnet for the blessings already moving in your direction. You need not chase, strain, or wonder. Every step is ordered, every answer already prepared. The invisible current of divine supply is steady, certain, and unfailing, and it flows toward you as naturally as the river runs to the sea. When you open your eyes each day, you stand at the threshold of fresh miracles. The world may call it coincidence, luck, or chance, but the soul knows it as perfect order. All that belongs to you, peace, joy, abundance, health, love, comes to you without effort when you walk in fearless faith. There is no need to question how or when. The seed has already been planted, and the harvest is inevitable. You are simply called to welcome it. Once every morning, you receive the full gift of today. Yesterday has gone to rest, and tomorrow is still a dream. But today is a living, breathing treasure chest, brimming with opportunities, answers, and blessings dressed in the garments of the present moment. When you awaken with the certainty that all is given, the day rises up to meet you with open arms. You will find the right doors swinging wide, the right words coming at the right time, the right people crossing your path as if led by unseen hands. To live in this consciousness is to dwell in abundance now, not in a distant future, but here in the warmth of this morning. Every desire that is pure, every vision that is good, is not a distant hope but a present reality taking shape before your eyes. The only work is to keep your heart open and your thoughts clear, free from doubt and fear. For doubt delays, but faith draws near. Imagine each morning as a golden messenger, carrying to your doorstep the exact blessings you have been preparing your soul to receive. These blessings may not always appear in the wrapping you expected, but they are perfect for you in every detail. They may come as a sudden inspiration, a quiet knowing, a chance meeting, or a long-awaited answer. And when you recognize them, you realize they were on their way long before you even asked. The morning does not demand anything from you but trust. Trust that the great storehouse of the universe has no lack, no delay, no error. Trust that life is not against you but for you. Trust that everything is come to me today is not wishful thinking, but the natural law of a mind aligned with its highest truth. You are not begging for scraps, you are receiving your rightful portion. The morning is the silent architect of the entire day, shaping the tone, rhythm, and quality of every experience that follows. From the moment your eyes open, you are stepping into an unseen field of possibility, one that is sensitive to your first thoughts, first feelings, and first words. These initial moments are far more powerful than many realize, for they act as a spiritual tuning fork, aligning you with the vibrations of what you will attract. If you rise with heaviness, resentment, or doubt, the day bends itself toward those energies. If you rise with expectancy, gratitude, and trust, the day responds in kind. Morning is not simply the start of hours. It is the birth of a new energetic current. In that quiet space between dreams and waking, the soul is still uncluttered by the noise of the world, still tender to the whispers of higher guidance. It is in this softness that your receptivity to blessings is at its highest. When you open the day in awareness that good is already flowing toward you, your mind begins to search for evidence of it, and whatever the mind seeks, it finds. This is not forced optimism, but a deliberate spiritual practice. The morning is when you write the script, and the rest of the day acts it out. In the hush before the demands begin, you hold the power to declare what you will meet, not by demanding it from life, but by quietly affirming its presence. The words you speak over your morning are like seeds, invisible yet potent, destined to sprout into the conditions you will encounter. To say, "This is a blessed day," is not a hope, but a statement of fact that sets the unseen in motion. The world around you may have its noise, but the inner world you choose in the morning becomes the true environment in which you live. When your first act is to align with gratitude, You are stepping into harmony with the natural law that like attracts like. Gratitude in the morning primes the mind to see blessings already present, which multiplies them. It is not the external circumstances that decide the tone of your day, it is the inner posture you adopt at dawn. You could wake into a house full of challenges, yet with a morning consciousness anchored in expectancy. Those challenges become opportunities for solutions to reveal themselves. The tone you set early acts like a guiding compass, quietly redirecting you back to trust even if the hours ahead bring temporary storms. Many believe that blessings come sporadically, like rare gifts tossed down from the sky, but the truth is they flow constantly. The difference lies in whether you are tuned to receive them. Morning is the time to adjust that frequency. Just as a radio must be set to the right channel to hear music, the mind must be tuned to the awareness of abundance to notice it. This is why the first hour is so sacred. It is easier to align yourself when the day is unformed than to wrestle it into harmony after chaos has set in. The first light itself carries symbolic weight, darkness giving way to illumination, uncertainty replaced by clarity. When you align with this natural order, you move with its current instead of against it. Even the smallest morning rituals, if carried out with intention, can open the gate for blessings to flow. A quiet cup of tea sipped in gratitude, a few minutes of stillness to breathe and listen. A spoken affirmation declaring that good is on its way. These are not idle habits but conscious acts of creation. They remind the mind that today is not random but divinely ordered. They tell the soul, I am ready, I am willing, I am open. When you set this tone, you become a living invitation for blessings to enter, not because you have earned them, but because you have made space for them. It is important to remember that the morning does not demand perfection from you. It does not require that you wake up bursting with joy every day. Some mornings may feel heavy, yet the choice to reach for even one thought of gratitude, one breath of trust, can begin to shift the atmosphere. The tone is not about forced cheerfulness, it is about deliberate alignment. Even in weariness, you can declare that blessings are coming, and that this day will be shaped by unseen good. That choice alone changes the trajectory of the hours ahead. When you rise and consciously choose the tone, you are also shaping how you will meet others. A morning grounded in expectancy radiates outward, affecting the way you speak, the patience you extend, the openness you hold. People are drawn to those who carry a lightness about them, and often without realizing it, they respond in ways that mirror your inner state. This, too, is part of receiving blessings. Sometimes they arrive through the kindness and cooperation of others, who are influenced by the tone you set in yourself first thing in the morning. Nature itself demonstrates the power of a fresh beginning. The dew on the grass, the stillness in the air, the slow unveiling of light, all speak of renewal and readiness. To step into the morning with closed eyes to these signs is to miss the whisper that everything you need is already moving toward you. But when you choose to see, when you choose to listen, the smallest details become confirmations of the greater truth. The day is on your side. You do not need to chase blessings, they are already walking toward you with sure and steady steps. Faith is the invisible current that draws all good to you without effort. It is not the desperate grasping of one who fears lack, but the quiet certainty of one who knows their good is already prepared and on its way. Faith is the substance that bridges the unseen with the seen, the inner vision with its outer manifestation. It is the unshakable inner posture that says, "What I need will find me," even when the senses offer no proof. When faith is present, struggle loses its grip, because there is no sense of having to force life to give what it has already offered. This is the effortless drawing power, the magnetic quality, that faith possesses. To live in faith is to stand rooted in the unseen reality that your desires, when aligned with your highest good, already exist in the storehouse of the universe. You are not pleading for them to be created, you are simply preparing to receive them. Just as a seed rests in the soil, trusting the invisible processes that will bring forth its bloom, You rest in the knowing that the fulfillment of your good is certain. The soil does not strain to produce the flower. It follows a natural law that is as dependable as the rising of the sun. Faith operates in the same way, drawing to you the right people, opportunities, and circumstances at the right moment without strain or delay. In faith, you release the need to manipulate or control the pathway of your blessings. You cease trying to predict exactly how they will come, because you understand that life has infinite ways to deliver what is yours. Often, the path faith creates is far better than anything the limited mind could have planned. This is why those who walk in faith seem to move through life with an ease that others call luck or chance. But there is nothing random about it. It is simply the law of attraction working unhindered by doubt, fear, or resistance. Faith is like a clear channel. When it is open, the stream flows freely, carrying with it all that belongs to you. Faith is not passive, it is active trust. It shapes your words, your choices, and your expectations. When you believe fully that good is coming, your actions naturally align with that belief. You speak with confidence. You step forward boldly. You make decisions as if the outcome is already assured. This forward motion, powered by belief rather than fear, creates momentum that opens more doors. Faith is the inner engine that keeps you moving toward your good, even when the road seems empty. Because you know the destination is certain. It is easy to confuse effort with effectiveness. But faith teaches that the most powerful results often come without frantic striving. This is not laziness but alignment. It is doing what you are guided to do, when you are guided to do it, and leaving the rest to the higher order that governs all life. The oak tree does not push the acorn into becoming. It simply holds the space for it to grow. Faith works in much the same way, holding the space for your good until it takes form. In this space you do not waste energy doubting, questioning, or rehearsing fears, because you know the law cannot fail. Those who operate in faith carry a certain lightness, because they are free from the weight of constant worry. Worry is simply faith in the wrong direction. It is belief in the possibility of loss or failure. But true faith turns the mind away from these shadows and fixes it on the light of certain good. When you walk in faith, you stop measuring time in terms of delay, because you trust that the moment of arrival will be perfect. You no longer resent the process, because you understand that the process itself is part of the blessing. Faith also removes the need for comparison. When you know your blessings are tailored specifically for you, the success of others becomes a sign of what is possible, not a threat. You do not fear being left behind, because faith teaches that nothing meant for you can be taken from you, and nothing not meant for you can be forced to stay. This understanding keeps your heart open and your spirit generous, which in turn attracts even more good. Faith, therefore, not only draws blessings but also shapes your character into one who can sustain and expand them. It is in moments of apparent lack or delay that faith shows its true strength. Anyone can believe when evidence is obvious, but faith holds steady when the field is still bare, trusting that the seed is germinating beneath the surface. This steadiness keeps you from making desperate decisions that could derail the process. It keeps you from grasping at lesser things out of fear that nothing better will come. Faith allows you to wait without anxiety, to prepare without doubt, and to move forward without hesitation when the right moment arrives. Faith also works hand in hand with intuition. When you trust that good is coming, you become more sensitive to the quiet nudges and inner whispers that guide you toward it. These subtle impulses, perhaps a sudden idea, a chance meeting, or an unexpected urge to take a different path, are often the very channels through which your blessings arrive. Without faith, such whispers are easily dismissed as coincidences or random thoughts. With faith, you recognize them as part of the unfolding answer. Because faith is magnetic, it not only draws good toward you, but also draws you toward your good. There is a meeting in the middle, a divine choreography, that brings the two together in perfect timing. You may find yourself in places you hadn't planned to be, speaking to people you hadn't expected to meet, and realizing later that each step was perfectly arranged. Faith makes you a willing participant in this arrangement, knowing that even the detours are part of the route. Today is the treasure chest of opportunity, and every moment within it is a jewel waiting to be discovered. It does not matter what yesterday held or what tomorrow may promise. Today is where life is happening, where every blessing must enter, and where every change is born. The present moment is the only place where your thoughts can take root and bear fruit. To dwell in it fully is to step into the only true place of power you have. Too often, the mind races ahead into tomorrow's unknown or circles endlessly in yesterday's shadows, forgetting that the key to all doors rests in the now. Every treasure you seek can only be unlocked here, in the unfolding of this day. When you awaken to the truth that today holds everything you need, your perspective shifts. You stop waiting for a better season, a better mood, or a better set of circumstances to begin living fully. You start recognizing that the opportunities before you now are the stepping stones toward every desire of your heart. Some opportunities will be bold and unmistakable, others will arrive quietly, disguised in the ordinary. But each is part of the hidden map leading you to greater good. The treasure chest of today may not always appear gilded, but it holds exactly what is needed for your growth, fulfillment, and joy in this moment. To treat today as a treasure chest is to approach it with reverence and expectancy, just as a collector would open a chest slowly. Savoring each piece inside, you begin to move through the day with a sense of curiosity and gratitude. You notice the way the sunlight falls across the floor, the warmth in a stranger's smile, the timing of an unexpected phone call, or the insight that arrives in a quiet pause. These are not small things. They are the gems of the present moment, each one adding to the richness of your experience. When you train your eyes to see them, you realize that the treasure is not only in grand events, but in the countless small details woven into the fabric of the day. The opportunities in today's chest are not static, they are living, shifting, and waiting for your engagement. Some require action, making a call, saying yes to a meeting, taking a step toward a goal. Others require stillness, allowing an idea to ripen, giving space for clarity to form, or simply resting to restore your energy. Knowing which is which comes from listening closely to your inner guidance. For not every treasure needs to be grasped immediately. Some blessings mature with time, and rushing toward them too soon may cause you to miss their fullness. One of the greatest mistakes is to overlook today while longing for tomorrow. The promise of a future harvest can tempt you to bypass the richness of the current season, but the seeds for tomorrow's blessings are planted here. When you honor today as the field where those seeds are sown, you begin to tend it with care, patience, and love. You understand that no effort given to this day is wasted, and no moment of awareness is without reward. Even apparent delays or detours can hold the very experiences or lessons needed for the doors ahead to open. Today's treasure chest also holds opportunities for connection. A conversation might reveal a key piece of information you need. A chance encounter might lead to a lasting friendship or partnership. These moments often seem casual at first, but when viewed in hindsight, they are clearly part of a greater orchestration. To live in awareness is to be alert to these openings, to sense when life is placing a gift in your path, and to receive it without hesitation or doubt. Sometimes the treasure comes through giving rather than receiving. A word of encouragement you offer to another might set in motion a blessing that circles back to you in ways you cannot yet see. It is important to remember that not all opportunities will look like opportunities at first glance. Some arrive as challenges, asking you to stretch, to grow, or to let go of something familiar. These are treasures in disguise, shaping your character, strengthening your faith, and refining your vision. What may feel like an obstacle is often the polishing cloth that prepares the jewel of your desire to shine more brightly when it finally appears. When you embrace this perspective, even difficulties become part of the wealth contained in today. The treasure of today also lies in its uniqueness. No 2 days are alike. Once this day has passed, it will never come again in the same form. This gives it a rare value, for the mix of opportunities, people, and moments present now will not be repeated. Even the challenges have their own distinct lessons that cannot be duplicated. To squander today by wishing for another time is to leave the chest unopened, its gifts unclaimed. But when you open it with care and presence, you carry its treasures forward, enriching not only this day but all the days to come. Living as though today is the treasure chest of opportunity requires a gentle discipline. A willingness to keep returning your attention to the now, even when your thoughts wander. It means asking, what is being offered to me in this moment? And trusting that the answer will come, even if it is subtle. It means allowing yourself to participate fully in whatever is unfolding, knowing that presence itself is a magnet for blessings. The more you give yourself to the day, the more the day gives itself to you. The truth is, every day begins as a closed chest, its contents hidden from view. You cannot know in advance all that it holds, but you can choose how you approach it. If you approach with dread, the jewels remain buried beneath layers of inattention. If you approach with expectancy, you begin to notice the glimmer of opportunities everywhere. Even a simple task, approached with the awareness that it may hold a key connection or insight, can yield something precious. The attitude you bring is the key that unlocks the lid. Blessings arrive in perfect timing and form, never a moment too soon and never a moment too late. They are delivered with precision, shaped to fit the needs, desires, and growth of your soul at the exact stage of your journey, where they will serve you best. Even when impatience whispers that they should have come earlier, or doubt insists they may never come at all, there is an unseen wisdom at work that knows the right hour and the right shape in which each blessing should appear. This timing is not bound by human clocks or calendars. It is governed by a higher order that considers every thread in the vast tapestry of your life, weaving them together in patterns too intricate to see from your current vantage point. The form a blessing takes is often different from what you might have imagined. Yet it is always perfect for what it is meant to accomplish in you and for you. You may envision abundance coming as a specific sum of money, only to find it arriving as a new opportunity, a connection, or a resource that ultimately proves far richer than cash could have been. You may picture love appearing in one familiar shape, but life may send it through an unexpected person, or in an entirely different relationship dynamic, one that challenges you to expand your understanding of love itself. This is the beauty of trusting, not only in the timing, but in the form of your blessings, for the mind's limited vision can only guess, while the higher order sees the whole picture. Perfect timing means that your blessings are aligned not just with your readiness, but with the readiness of all the other elements involved. Sometimes the delay you perceive is not about you at all. It is about another person or situation that must be prepared to meet you at the exact point where both can flourish. You may need the skill, wisdom, or emotional strength gained from an experience you have yet to pass through, before you can fully receive and sustain what you desire. To arrive at a blessing unprepared is to risk losing it, but to arrive in perfect readiness is to be able to hold it, nurture it, and let it expand. The form of a blessing often carries its own message. It may come wrapped in simplicity, so that only a heart trained to notice the quiet can truly receive it. It may come with a flourish, a grand unfolding that leaves no doubt it was meant for you. It may come disguised as a challenge that forces you to grow in order to claim it. Each form is deliberate. It teaches you something about yourself, about life, and about the nature of the divine order that governs both. When you remain open to any form, you remove the blinders that cause many to miss their blessings entirely because they were looking for something else. There are times when the form is so unexpected that it takes time to even recognize it as a blessing. What looks like an ending may, upon reflection, be the very door that allowed you to step into greater freedom. What feels like a loss may be the clearing away of what could not travel with you to the place you were meant to go. This is why trust in the form is as essential as trust in the timing. Both are chosen with care by the unseen hand that directs all things for your highest good. When blessings come in perfect timing and form, they fit seamlessly into your life, like a missing puzzle piece snapping into place. They do not arrive with the strain of forcing or the exhaustion of chasing. They come with a sense of ease, even if they require you to rise to meet them. They seem to carry their own confirmation, a feeling that says, "Yes, this is right," even before your mind has finished analyzing them. This recognition is the soul's way of acknowledging that the alignment has been reached. Patience becomes a natural companion when you understand this principle. Instead of pushing against what is not yet here, you focus on becoming the version of yourself who will be ready when it arrives. You tend to your inner life, sharpen your skills, nurture your relationships, and keep your heart open. You stop comparing your timing to another's, because you realize each life has its own rhythm, its own divine schedule. Just as no two flowers bloom at the exact same moment, no two blessings share the exact same hour of arrival. The form of a blessing also adapts to your willingness to receive. If your heart is open wide, the form can be expansive, abundant, and overflowing. If your openness is still growing, it may arrive in smaller doses, each one expanding your capacity to receive the next. This gradual unfolding is not a lesser gift, it is a preparation, ensuring that each step is secure before the next is taken. Often, the perfection of timing and form is only clear in hindsight. Looking back, you can see how certain delays saved you from paths that were not truly aligned, how certain unexpected forms brought you more than you would have dared to ask for, and how certain seeming disappointments were the very things that guided you to what you truly needed. The more you see this pattern repeated, the easier it becomes to trust it in the present moment. Blessings that come too soon can overwhelm, and blessings that come in the wrong form can be missed entirely. But blessings that arrive in perfect timing and form meet you exactly where you are and carry you forward to where you are meant to be. They are like rain falling on soil that has just been tilled. Every drop sinks in and nourishes because the ground is ready. And when they do arrive, they often bring with them a ripple effect, opening doors to even more blessings that could not have been unlocked until this one had come. Trust aligns you with your rightful portion, for trust is the steady hand that holds open the door to all that is meant for you. It is the willingness to rest in the assurance that nothing good can be withheld, and nothing that belongs to another can truly be yours. In this quiet confidence, you stop struggling to force outcomes, stop competing with others for what you think is scarce, and stop exhausting yourself in the restless pursuit of security. Trust places you in harmony with the flow of life, allowing the river of blessings to carry you naturally to the shores where your portion awaits. It is not passivity but the calm readiness of one who knows that their needs are already accounted for in the larger plan. When you walk in trust, you stop measuring your worth by what has not yet appeared. You understand that unseen arrangements are already unfolding on your behalf, whether you witness them or not. Just as the roots of a tree grow beneath the surface, long before new leaves appear, the roots of your blessings are spreading in places you cannot see. Trust gives you the patience to let them grow strong before they emerge. This patience is not idle, it is filled with purposeful preparation, tending to the life you have now, so that you can hold and sustain the greater life you are moving toward. Your rightful portion is not something you must seize, it is something you must receive. Trust removes the fear of missing out, because you know that what is meant for you will find you, even if it has to travel through unexpected routes or arrive in ways your mind never planned. This allows you to release the anxious grip on timing and appearance. You begin to see that the competition is an illusion, for no two people have the exact same portion. The blessings shaped for you carry your name, and they will not fit anyone else in the same way. In trust, You learn to welcome what comes and bless what goes, for you understand that every arrival and departure serves the perfect unfolding of your portion. If something leaves, it is not a loss but a clearing. If something arrives, it is not a random gift but an appointed part of your path. This perspective creates a stability within you that cannot be shaken by temporary conditions. You no longer live in reaction to every shift in circumstance, because your focus is not on the appearance of things, but on the unchanging order behind them. Trust also sharpens your perception. When you believe your portion is already on its way, you become more alert to the signs and opportunities that are part of its delivery. A passing comment may contain the idea you need. A delay may position you to meet someone essential to your journey. An inconvenience may steer you away from a path that would have taken you away from your true portion. In this way, trust acts as a compass, keeping you aligned even when the route curves and twists. The act of trusting transforms the way you handle uncertainty. Instead of fearing the unknown, you begin to see it as the space where your blessings are prepared. You can walk through unanswered questions with peace, knowing they are not gaps but gestation periods. You no longer rush to fill every silence or resolve every mystery, because you have learned that the unseen is often where the greatest work is being done. This trust in the process keeps you from scattering your energy in frantic action, allowing you to move only when truly guided. Trust also deepens your gratitude. When you believe in the certainty of your portion, you see each present blessing as part of the whole, not as something separate or insufficient. A small opportunity is recognized as a seed, a single answered prayer as proof that the storehouse is open. Gratitude in turn strengthens trust, creating a cycle that draws your portion closer with each passing day. The more you trust, the more you notice. The more you notice, the more you receive. Your rightful portion is not limited to material things. It includes peace of mind, fulfilling relationships, health, purpose, and the quiet joy that comes from living in alignment with who you are. Trust ensures that you do not settle for substitutes. Without trust, impatience may tempt you to grasp at what is available now, even if it is not right. With trust, you can wait for what is truly yours, knowing that anything less would only occupy the space meant for something greater. This ability to wait with peace is not weakness but strength, for it keeps you from being swayed by appearances or pressure. There is also a humility in trust. It recognizes that the higher order knows more than the limited mind can comprehend. This humility allows you to release your tight plans when they no longer serve, to welcome redirection without resistance, and to admit that your portion may be far more than you dared to imagine. By stepping back from the need to control, you make room for the unexpected abundance that only trust can unlock. As trust grows, so does your sense of security. You no longer live with the fear that your good could be taken away, for you understand that it is anchored in something deeper than circumstances. Even in seasons where outer evidence seems scarce, you remain anchored in the truth that your portion is intact and making its way toward you. This steadiness not only supports your own peace, but also inspires those around you, for they see in you a calmness that is rare in a world that constantly urges urgency.